Awesome. So good. So good. Okay, so I know that you're all here. Just checking in, just checking in. Okay, so week 4 maths, or week 5 maths actually. Very, very simple. Hopefully that you've spent enough time working with these formulas that you are comfortable and you're feeling like you can tackle a real world problem, because here is your real world problem. Every person is going to get a different answer, so there's no need to try and copy off people. As the first thing, you have to show me all your working. Okay, it's not okay for you to skip working or skip carrying if you're using that method. You have to use one of the multiplication methods that we've been talking about, which could be tidy numbers, place value, or algorithm. They're the three multiplication methods we've been talking about. Okay, so you're going to watch through this video to a certain point. When I tell you to stop watching, the next part is for once you've done the first stage. So this is the first stage. So the first stage, you're going to choose 5 items of furniture in your house, and you're going to work out the surface area of those items. So for example, if I have a seat, a normal seat, the surface area of the seat is the area that I'm sitting on and the area that I lean my back against, because that's, that's what I'm referring to as the surface area. Okay, it's the area that you'll use. Okay, so for example, a seat is 2 rectangles back to back. I might go on YouTube. Go off. Here we go. Seat. Oh, I just wrote seat. Great. Seat image. Car seats. Apparently, seat is a car brand. I'll change that to chair. So you would work out the surface area of this shape and of this shape. Or in an easy, this part here and the part that you sit on. Now, when you're doing that, I'm okay with you making small modifications. Like if it's basically a rectangle, but it's not quite a rectangle, then you'll just use the rectangle formula. So you're going to do 5 items, the surface area of 5 items around items of furniture around your house. So you could do a table and you'd do the tabletop. You could do a seat and you'd do the back and the front, the back and the place that you sit on. You could do your couch. You could do a coffee table. The coffee table might be round, it might be square, it might be rectangle. You could do items of furniture. I'd even let you do like your kitchen bench. But here's the thing. You're not allowed more than 2 of the same shape. So if you do 2 rectangles, let's say you do your chair, which is 2 rectangles there, that's fine, that's 1. And then you do your coffee table, which is also a rectangle. Then you're going to have to look at something that is circular and like something that's triangular and then something that's square. So you're not allowed to use the same type of shape multiple times. So let's get to the actual formula. As I've said, you need to show full working. Oopsie, this one here. So this one's for triangle. So if you were going to do a triangle calculation, you would work right here. As you can see, there is the height and there is the base along the bottom. So, let's say you've got a triangular vase that you're going to do, and the surface area of the opening, the top opening. I'm just making stuff up here, but then it might be along the base, it might be 12 centimeters, which I measured 12 centimeters, and then the height, or the depth of the triangle might be 10 centimeters, and it would come up with the 60. But you're not allowed to use that. You have to use the formula. So you're going to go base times height, multiplication algorithm, divided by 2. So the same piece of work you're going to put into your maths book. Height times base divided by 2. Real simple. Nothing major. Rectangle, base times height, or width times length. Depends on what. So that's just a straight up multiplication. And the real tricky one that's going to be hard is the area of a circle. Area of a circle is pi, which is, for this purpose, we're going to just go 3.1415 times the radius squared. Now, I'll let you do... No, I'm not going to let you. So radius squared means the radius of a circle. Let's have a look at what a radius of a circle is. Radius of a circle is from the middle of the circle to the edge. Or a good way of doing it is going from one side of the circle to the other side. That's called the diameter. Well, the radius is half of that. So let's say you have a circle that's this wide. Let's say you have a circle that's that wide. That works out to be 10 centimeters. Well, half from that side to this side is 10 centimeters. So half of that is 5 centimeters. So that's your radius. Now, I know I'm introducing all these formulas, but remember, once first you can look up all these formulas online. That would be my first step. You need to show you're working in full. So you cannot go and just use the calculator online, because I can quite easily just go area of a circle, calculator, and then I can put in the radius was 5, and it tells me the area is 78.54. But you can use that to help you, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go, when you're using, let's say the radius was 5, you're going to have to go 5 times 5 equals 25, and that gives you the area squared, the radius squared here, and then you're going to have to multiply that by 3.1415. So, simple as, this week's tasks are as hard as you choose them to be. You know, you can push yourself, or you can look for easy options. Okay, so there are the different formulas that you'll be using. You'll be using the triangle, which is base times height, divided by 2. So you need to measure the height and the base and divide by 2. The triangle, the rectangle or square, it's just base times height slash width times length, you know, of the square. And the circle one, which is radius squared times 2. And radius is half the distance from one side to the other. Okay? So you choose 5 items from your house. Items of furniture, I've said, but any, you know, furniture or decoration, like, for example, you know, I use the example of a vase, you know, if you want to work out the area of the top of a vase, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay? So that is your first step. That is the first thing you need to do. Choose 5 items, work out the area of the surface of those items. Okay, so before you go on to watching more of this video, for step 2, you need to finish step 1. Okay? Step 2 is going to come in around about 9:30. That's good, that's easy for me to mark. I will mark it so you can come back to it easily. Okay, so step 2. Just to get you using multiplication of decimals, you are going to change the 5 items you have got into inches. which means that you need to multiply your answers, which are in centimetres squared, I imagine, because you would have measured it in centimetres squared. You need to multiply them by 0.39. Just 0.39. You don't need to go 0.393 unless you're feeling ambitious. If you're feeling super ambitious, section 2, you can go 3937. But I'm totally okay with just 39. Okay? So that's the second task. The first task, 5 items around the house. Do your multiplication of area. They cannot be the same. They must be. You must have at least two different. You can only do a certain shape twice. Okay. So, and then multiply the areas all together. Work out your area, and then your last task is to change it into inches squared rather than centimetres squared. Fun last week before we get back to class, which I'm really looking forward to. Very much task-based learning today. It's I've got to give you a bit of non-worksheet stuff and see how you go. Okay? Good luck.